I'm John Palmer. Today, an incredible drama of survival, the top secret story of one of the largest wartime rescue operations ever. At its center, an American flyer on a classified mission, shot down over the jungles of Laos and stalked by the enemy for 3 brutal days and nights. Join us. You're about to experience instant recall.
Deep inside enemy territory, he has almost no place to hide. But courage and cunning keep him alive until a massive rescue mission finally reaches him. A story never told before, the most daring escape of the Vietnam War.
The second night, I was laying in the river with just my mouth sticking out, using a little reed to get some air. I knew what was going to happen if they found me.
As Desert Storm pilots fly thousands of missions over Iraq, they can take some comfort from a long-standing military policy. A pledge to each airman that should he go down over hostile territory, the Air Force will do everything possible to bring him out alive, no matter what the cost. Our first story is about one of the most heroic and harrowing rescue missions of the Vietnam War. It was part of a top-secret operation that has been declassified only recently. To tell the story, we've used footage from similar missions.
Your chute is opening and people are shooting at you, and all of a sudden you go from the relative safety of your airplane to stark terror with people trying to kill you.
December 5th, 1969, flying on a secret bombing mission over Laos, Air Force navigator Woody Bergeron and his pilot are shot down by enemy fire. They eject and land in perhaps the most dangerous spot in all of Southeast Asia, where the Ho Chi Minh Trail, a major North Vietnamese supply line, intersects a river.
I landed on one side of the river and Ben Danielson landed on the other side of the river. There weren't many trees around there. It looked like the moon. They knew exactly where we were because they were shooting at us as we were coming down the parachute. There was no place to hide. They knew right where we were.
Bergeron turns to his only lifeline, his radio. His call stirs the Air Force rescue units. Jim George, the lead pilot on alert, races to the area.
We knew it was intensely hostile and there were a lot of guns. We always told them we would get them out, even though in cases like this there was a good deal of doubt in your mind.
You can't imagine the number of guns firing, non-stop shooting at airplanes, and just looked too lethal to even make an attempt to get us out of there.
Day one, despite the odds, hundreds of men scramble in what will be the war's largest rescue operation.
It don't matter who's down, what rank he is or what. They will do everything they can to rescue him. There's just no questions asked.
It was a feeling of, that could be me down there. And I want everybody to do everything they can to get me out.
A fierce battle rages the entire day. Fighter planes swarm in, bombing, trying to clear an area for rescue helicopters to get close to the survivors. But the enemy seems to be firing from everywhere.
There was just too much ground fire. We had a number of helicopters shot up the first day.
Mayday, mayday, this is Jet 7-5. I've been hit. I'm heading west.
The whole time the helicopter's coming down, these A-1 Sky Raiders are in there dueling with people and guns.
We would try to find out where they were and either kill them or intimidate them into not shooting.
When darkness falls, the rescue operation must stop, and Bergeron and Danielson are left alone, the targets of a huge manhunt by the enemy.
That night, there was roots of an old tree hanging over the edge of the riverbank, and I went and hid behind those roots and buried myself, covered myself in mud. But there was this one little section of some trees, and that's where Ben was hiding. They found him early in the morning and shot him. That was devastating, that was, because now it was bad enough with 2 of you against the whole, however many North Vietnamese there are, but then when you're all by yourself, that was tough.
Day 2, another tragedy. One pararescue man is killed during the battle, but each effort is getting closer to Bergeron.
One of the helicopters came in and landed on the little plateau up there, and I'm scrambling up the side of the bank when the helicopter backs into a tree, and the helicopter pilot thought he got hit, so they took off. I went, oh, look, here you are, you're liable to lose your life, and you came within 5 feet of hopping on a helicopter and going home.
At twilight, the frustrated rescue squad must leave Bergeron for yet another night. The enemy's hunt for him intensifies.
We felt, we may be saying goodbye to him for the last time. The mood of everyone there just being extremely somber and just saying, that's it. We're not going to hear from him again.
The second night, I was laying in the river with just my mouth sticking out using a little reed to get some air. I knew what was going to happen if they found me, because typically there'd be 3 or 4 guys walking around looking for me, all with AK-47 shooting at just different bushes for the heck of it.
Day 3, at first light, the rescue planes are back.
Most fantastic sound in the world is the sound of an entire A-1 squadron coming across the horizon, so you can tell them, hey, I need you now, I need you here.
We were just amazed that he was there.
You got to be confident that, okay, as long as I keep talking on my radio and I don't let these guys find me at night, I'll be all right.
Now, 51 hours after he was shot down, Bergeron sees another helicopter come his way.
I'm just standing in the river, waving a piece of plastic at them as they're shooting up the landscape.
When the helicopter went in to try to make the pickup, when it went to hover, all hell busted loose.
So the hoist comes down.
And as soon as it hit the water, here came the lieutenant splashing.
I jump on it, and there are guys shooting at me, shooting at the helicopter. Bullets are flying everywhere.
I looked down and saw the lieutenant coming up to the door, so I just reached down and got him.
They grab me in and we take off.
Okay, welcome aboard the bus. Hey, thank you, fantastic for the ride.
After 336 missions, the operation is over, and its success, revealed in the smile of Woody Bergeron, is undeniable.
Pandemonium and a big celebration. Everybody gathering around the helicopter to see who this guy is that's been able to survive out there for 3 days.
Everybody is tickled to death. Fact is, he was the happiest man I ever saw in my life.
Just incredible joy and happiness. You owed your life to him. I mean, that I couldn't believe they were trying, They couldn't express in words the thanks.
Woody Bergeron served in the Air Force for 20 years before retiring in 1987. He now works as a certified public accountant in Georgia. Jim George is now a Delta Airlines pilot. Red Willis retired after 23 years in the service. During the Vietnam War, about 1,300 downed airmen were saved by air rescue efforts. Next, another moment, another time on Instant Recall.